Hello, hello. My name is Chris, and I am so glad you're here with me today. We are going to talk about the power of storytelling and how to tell a story that really resonates with your ideal leads and turns them into clients. Before we dive in, I want to find out, what do you find the most challenging when it comes to writing for your business? Most of my clients come to me because they're in one of three camps. So they're the cringer. These guys cringe when someone asks them, like, what's your website address? How can I find you online? They cringe because their online presence is not representing them well. The second group is what I call the driver. These guys are so focused working in their business that they don't have time to work on their business. So those dreaded marketing tasks keep falling to the end of the to-do list over and over and over again, month after month. The third camp is the noodler. These guys are throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. They are trying so hard to figure out how to get their marketing to work. They're up late at night watching YouTube tutorials and trying a lot of things, but really haven't landed on the thing that actually works. So I'm curious, which camp do you consider yourself in? Whether the cringer, the driver, or the noodler, at the end of the day, they're not getting the number of leads they want, and they're looking for a more predictable income and higher revenue. Now, I believe that all self-employed service providers need just one great page on their website with a powerful story that sells for them. When I was 7, a neighborhood friend came over to play, and she assumed we were going to play dolls or maybe watch a little Mr. Rogers, but I had another idea in mind. I talked her into making a trifold vacation brochure. And we pulled out my mom's stack of National Geographics, and we cut out photos of cheetahs and jungles and exotic beaches, and we collaged them together on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Then we folded it up into three panels, and voila, you've got a vacation brochure. I've got dozens of stories like this, because in hindsight, I've always been a visual storyteller. Now, fast forward to adulthood, it's no wonder I became a designer and worked for companies like Nike and Adidas. Eventually, I started my own business, and over the years, I've served hundreds and hundreds of happy clients. I loved helping small business owners grow, but as time went on, the landscape online evolved, and what had been working for my clients, it wasn't really working that great anymore. And the hard truth was that even my own online presence wasn't bringing me the amount of leads that I needed to survive. At that point, I was relying solely on referrals, and I was starting to worry about how long I could keep that up. About that time, a client named Elise came to me for a new website, and she had a new business idea. She was really excited to get it out into the world, and because of her background in publishing, she really wanted to write her own website copy. So we set the project kickoff date for April 10th, and she promised to have her copy done before that date. And that way I could start the design process in time to hit our launch date. So the morning of April 10th, I got a phone call, and it was Elise. She said, "I don't have the copy ready. I am so sorry. It's not that I haven't been trying, but for some reason, this is just so hard. I'm trying to write my own copy and I'm paralyzed. And I'm a good writer, so with my background in publishing, I should totally be able to do this for myself." She said, "There's just so much information in my brain that I can't get out. Can you please help me?" Oof, that was a tough phone call because I didn't really know how to help her. I knew how to tell a visual story, but not so much a written one. So we came up with a few things that she could try, like following a template, hiring a copywriter, maybe even asking her friends for insights, and she tried it all. In the end, the copy just didn't feel like her. She tried to outsource having another person write the copy for her, and it wasn't aligned with her. And it's because she couldn't outsource her own voice. It wasn't working because it didn't feel like her voice. She was stuck, and honestly, she wasn't my only client struggling with this. I knew there had to be a better way. Thanks to Elise, I made it my mission to crack the code on how to write great website copy paired with beautiful design, so this would never, ever happen again. I dove deep into storytelling. I traveled across the country to attend workshops, I read countless books, and I even got certified as one of the very first StoryBrand guides. And if you're not familiar with what StoryBrand is, that is based on a book by Donald Miller, and it's called Building a StoryBrand. I would highly recommend it. Anyway, I became more confident with how to tell an effective story on a website, and things began to change. My clients were calling me to share exciting news like, "Chris, our revenue has gone up 300%. And another client called and said, "Oh my God, I'm finally hitting consistent 6-figure months." And then another call I got was, "Chris, you will not believe this, but I'm charging 6 times more for the exact same service, and I'm no longer on the verge of burnout." At the same time, my own calendar was getting booked out with lead calls and new projects because my website started doing that heavy lifting of selling for me. That's when I realized the true power of story, because when you tell a compelling story, your ideal clients feel a connection with you. They resonate with you and they want to work with you. And the best part is your website does all the selling, so you can focus on the things that matter most. I used to help people build beautiful websites. Now, my greatest joy comes from helping them build effective websites. And I am thrilled to share this knowledge with you today and help you use the power of story to captivate your ideal clients and increase revenue. Today, I'm going to help you break free from 3 common traps keeping you stuck with an ineffective message. Then we're going to uncover the 7 magic ingredients of an effective story, and I'm going to show you the recipe for writing high converting copy that resonates with your ideal clients. So trap 1 is a brochure website. You signed up for a Squarespace site or a Wix or whatever web builder you chose and slapped up an obligatory website. You uploaded a photo of yourself, entered a few paragraphs of copy where the template directed you to. And I get it. You're thinking, I need to have a presence online where people can find me, and I've got to get something up quick. The template they provided looked pretty good, and they obviously know what they're doing, so I'll follow their lead and fill in the blanks. But then months go by, maybe even a year, and when you think back, you realize not one of your clients has come to you directly from your website. And you're confused, you're frustrated, and you're unsure. Like, what is it about your website that's not working? Now, of course, you're feeling this way. When someone launches a website, they expect it to convert. It should convert. Squarespace, Wix, or whatever builder you chose, why would they spoon feed you a template that didn't work? Why? Because they are in the business of brochure websites, not in the business of effective websites. So my question for you is this: why are you settling for a brochure website that's not working when you know you really need an effective website? Because once you have it, it will attract the right kinds of clients and repel the rest. It will build trust, build authority, save you time on sales calls, allow you to focus on what matters, build your business faster, get you booked out, convert leads into clients, and increase revenue. How does that sound? Okay, let's move on to trap number 2. Trap number 2 is struggling with copy. Just trying to do it all by yourself. And you're ready to take your business to the next level. And that means upping your game online. So you commit to sprucing up your website and posting more on Instagram, sending more emails, but then you open up a Google Doc and stare at a blinking cursor. You're stuck. You're thinking, why is this so dang hard? I know so much about my business and I'm good at what I do. Why can't I write about it? I could hire someone to do it for me, but no one knows me better than me. And a copywriter doesn't know the nuances of my industry. You're feeling a bit frustrated because DIYing it means investing more of your precious time and energy when you're already maxed out. Plus, the things you've tried before haven't really moved the needle for your business, so you're not sure if it's even all worth the effort. And I get it, like, of course, you're feeling this way because DIYing your own copy feels like torture, even if you consider yourself a decent writer. The reason this is true for nearly all self-employed people is because of something called the bottle effect. We are just too close to our own business. It's like being inside of a bottle and trying to read that label that can only be read from the outside. I have yet to meet an entrepreneur who doesn't struggle with this. Most of us also have the curse of knowledge, and this just means that you've been in your industry long enough to have forgotten what it's like to not know what you know. This is why it's so hard to craft a simple and clear message when you're inside your own head. You end up accidentally using language that is just over the heads of your potential clients because they don't know all the things that you know. One of the hardest things for us as entrepreneurs when we think about investing in a website is either you invest in a really good designer or you invest in a really good copywriter, but the likelihood of getting both is either really effing expensive or a total unicorn to find. So what if you didn't have to compromise? What if you didn't have to choose between hiring a copywriter or a designer? I'm going to show you a way to unlock that elusive unicorn and have the best of both worlds without breaking the bank. Because the truth is, an effective website marries great copy with beautiful design, and you should not have to settle for anything less. So what if you didn't have to struggle with your message? What if you look forward to writing about your business because you knew what to say and you knew it would resonate with ideal clients? Okay, so trap number 3. This is a sneaky one, and this is the one that I find to be the hardest for my clients. And this is all about making yourself the hero of your own story. And I get what you're thinking. This is your online presence, so your story should be about you, right? So what do? You look online to see what your mentors and others in your industry are doing. They're talking about themselves, about what they love, their hobbies, and what makes them unique. So you open up a Google Doc and you start introducing fun facts about yourself. You share the story of how you got started in business, and you layer in your credibility because you want people to see that you actually know what you're talking about. And this makes so much sense. But here's the problem. When a potential client finds you online, they'll say, "Oh, wow, she's cool." But then they'll keep on looking until they find someone who's actually going to help them. The thing you might not see is that your mentors, even though it seems like they're talking about themselves, they're doing it as it relates to you. They're doing it in a way that allows you to see yourself in their story. And this is why storytelling is so powerful. But most people don't know how to do it, and it's hard to talk about yourself and also make it about the person you're talking to. It's a subtle shift, but it makes all the difference in the world. So what if your most compelling story wasn't about you? The truth is, effective copy invites your ideal clients into a story with you where they are the hero and you are the guide. Here's how it works. But before I get into the good stuff, here's why story is so effective. It's what's connected us from the beginning of time. Our brains are completely wired for story, and it's the quickest way to establish connection and trust. The other really cool thing about story is that they're 22 times more memorable than just facts. So if you think about the last presentation you watched, maybe they talked for 45 minutes. You're going to remember about 3 minutes of that entire presentation, and the only part you're going to remember is the story that they shared. So here is the formula for every compelling story from the beginning of time. A character or a hero has a problem. They meet a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action. And that results in success and helps them avoid failure. When you're the guide, right here, you are the guide. Your client is the character or the hero. When you're the guide, you are the strongest character in your story. The hero is actually the weakest character because they're in the thick of a struggle that they don't know how to overcome. Here are a few examples. So you've got Katniss and Haymitch, and then we've got Karate Kid, of course, and Mr. Miyagi, the ultimate guide. And then, of course, we've got Luke and Yoda. So the reality is there's only room for one hero in every story. So when you make yourself the hero of your own story, you're literally kicking your potential clients out of your story. This is why people don't respond to your online presence, social posts, or emails, or website. They can't see themselves in your story, and therefore they don't feel a connection. And rather than tell your story, what I want you to do is invite your clients into a story with you, where you play the guide and they play the hero. Okay, so the main thing right here that I really want you to take away, and it's worth even writing down, is that story is the secret behind compelling copy. And you always want to begin every story that you ever tell with a character or a hero that has a problem. So you always begin with the problem that your clients struggle with, and always make your clients the hero and you the guide. We do this because people don't choose to work with the most qualified person. They work with the one they feel the most connected with. When you are the guide and they are the hero, you're inviting your client into a story with you. A connection is made, and they automatically see you as the best person to solve their problem. That's when your copy starts selling for you on autopilot. Now I'm going to show you the recipe for getting copy that sells in 2.5 hours flat. And this is copy that's going to resonate with your ideal leads and turn them into paying clients. So the first thing that needs to happen is I extract the gold from your brain. There is so much goodness. Your story is inside of you. The problem is your story is in there, but it's cluttered up with a lot of other knowledge and a lot of other ideas. And what happens is when you try and do it yourself, things can get muddy, confusing, unclear. And so the first step in the process that I'd recommend for you is allow me to pull that story out of your brain. I liken this to when you're cleaning out your garage. You've got a garage packed full of stuff, years, it's been collecting for years. There are treasures in there, but until you empty out the garage and sort things into piles, it's hard to know what are the treasures and what's the trash. And so what I do is I pull all the gold out from your brain, I find the treasures, and I get all the information I need to be able to write your story. And so that brings us into step 2, where I write your compelling copy for you. This is a long format homepage or sales page. You just need one page on your website that sells for you. And so I write that for you based on all the gold that I've extracted out of your brain. Compelling copy is high converting, and it motivates them to click on that work with me button or schedule a call button or buy my course button. Whatever you want them to do, this is the copy that motivates them to do that. And then you and I will get on a 90-minute collaboration call. And this is where we apply your voice and weave in some of the nuances of your industry. So we've got 90 minutes together. I'll walk you through the entire wireframe, all the copy that I've written for your long format page, and tell you the why behind every word that I've put on that page. I believe all website copy is guilty until proven innocent. I'm all about less is more. Let's keep it clean and clear so the people viewing your page can really get to the heart of how you can help them, and so they can quickly know that you're the best one to solve their problem. So step 3 is a collaboration call where we work together for 90 minutes. And then you take the copy that we've written and you basically transfer the copy over to your website. Now you can do this yourself or somebody on my team can do it for you. It doesn't matter to me, just whatever is easy. We got to get that copy onto your website. And then once it's on your website, then I put on my design hat and I make sure that the visual story we're telling is aligned with the written story that we've so carefully crafted. And so this is kind of like that 1-2 punch that 99.9% of the internet is not doing. They might invest in copy or they might invest in design, but very rarely is the copy telling a great, compelling, high converting story. And the visuals are also aligned with that compelling story and helping to bring that story to life with font color and photography. So I'll give you a very, very detailed feedback and guidance on how to really nail the design of the page. And then at that point, you turn on that client getting faucet and it just keeps bringing you new clients month after month, year after year. So there's a huge lifetime value with this process. So what I want you to remember again is that story is the secret behind compelling copy. Always begin your story with a problem that your clients struggle with and always make them the hero of your story. If you are interested in getting copy that sells in 2.5 hours flat, you can work with me one-on-one. You can go to my website, www.reddoordesigns.com. That's reddoordesigns.com. And if you're just done trying to DIY it and you want me to do it for you, that's the best place to go. If you are wanting to continue to DIY things, I have also at that same website address a freebie for you, and it's a 5-minute video on how to write compelling copy in 5 minutes flat. So whichever path you choose, I support you in your journey. I would love the opportunity to get to hop on a money-making messaging call with you. So feel free to schedule with me, and I look forward to meeting.